Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for this month's Choose Your Own Crystal Adventure reading. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. I'm so excited that you've joined me. So this month we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Messages from Your Angels Oracle card deck. And the way the Choose Your Own Adventure crystal readings works is you think about a question or an area in your life where you have you're experiencing difficulty or you're wanting some clarity and guidance, and what I'm going to ask you to do is choose a crystal to represent the answer to that question. So take a moment, feel free to pause or stop the video and think about all of the questions that you may have that you're looking for answers, guidance, or clarity on. And once you've done that, I'm going to ask you to choose one of the following crystals to represent the answer to that question. So your choices this month are Labradorite, Rose Quartz, Carnelian, Citrine, Selenite, Malachite, Apatite, Lava, and Jet. So again, taking a deep breath and asking which crystal best represents the question that you have. And your choices are Labradorite, Rose Quartz, Carnelian, Citrine, Selenite, Malachite, Apatite, Lava, and Jet. Alright, so I'm just going to move these crystals off to the side in order so I remember how they go back. And so what we're going to do is give the cards a shuffle, and we're going to ask our angels, our guides, whoever is with us, helping us through the next little bit, and ask them what messages we need to know. So if you chose Labradorite, the message that's coming up is you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise. So the big message that's coming forward for you here is that it feels like you're coming up to a place where you need to make a decision about something, about whether or not something is working for you in your life, and that it's really important that you aren't compromising on the things that are important to you. So as you're making your choices, as you're making your decisions, make sure that you go through and you prioritize what is important to you, and then using those priorities allow those priorities to help you make your decision in what it is that you need. One of the things that's coming up is that it's entirely possible that part of the reason that you haven't made a decision around this, or you're continuing to stay in a situation that perhaps isn't healthy for you, is because you're afraid that there isn't going to be something better that comes along. And the message that's coming up with this is that yes, there is. So please don't compromise on what is important to you at this time. The other thing that's coming up is with Labradorite itself, it's a very protective stone. It helps to keep you balanced and grounded. So one, when you're trying to make these decisions or making changes within your life, make sure that you're going into a place where you're feeling grounded, but also know that you're protected within this situation, and that whatever changes, adjustments that you're going to be making are divinely guided, and that you are safe and protected as you go through that. Archangel Michael just kind of popped in, so if you're feeling uncertain or you're really wanting to get back onto what is important for your life path, then ask him for help at this time. Alright, so for the people who chose Rose Quartz, Opal's coming up, and she's saying your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. So a couple of things comes up with that. One, there's a very nurturing energy that's coming up with this card just kind of in general. So know that gentleness is required within this situation, as well as a lot of love and compassion. If the question that you have asked involves children, first of all, know that they are safe in whatever may be happening within this situation, and that it's important to trust, let go, and to be as compassionate and understanding as you possibly can at this time. But the big message that's coming forward is that it's really important that you're gentle, nurturing with yourself within the situation, and that you know that everyone is being taken care of. And also, actually, there's a feeling of needing to kind of step back from that care caregiver, responsibility. So if part of the situation is involving you caring for somebody else, it feels like it's important that, one, you are as nurturing as you possibly can be within the situation, but that it's also important that you're establishing and maintaining boundaries for yourself so that you're able to take care of yourself, and that you aren't enabling the situation any further. Yes, wonderful. So, for the people who chose Carnelian, the message that's coming up is Mystique. Keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. And you know, it's kind of interesting because it has a very similar feeling to what was coming up with Astara for Labradorite. So, if you've chosen Carnelian, the message that's coming up is yes, you are on the right path. You need to keep pushing forward with this. Really trust and follow your intuition and your guidance with this, especially if it's something that's pushing you outside of your comfort zone. There's also an aspect of creativity, passion, and desire that's coming up with this card. Carnelian is all about the sacral chakra, which is all about desire. It's all about passion. It's about the femininity and the masculinity, depending on what your gender is or how you identify with gender. And so it's really important that you are embracing that and continuing to move forward and to push forward with it. But this situation, know that if it seems that things aren't working out properly, that everything is coming together. It's a matter of being in that creative space, being in that place of passion, and everything will start to come together and to work out. So know that everything is coming together. And I'm really kind of drawn to the point at the top of the unicorn's horn. And so it's charging forward with passion, but that there's light. So as long as you are moving into the light, everything is coming together. Wonderful. All right, so let's bring out the next crystals. And for the people who chose Citrine, the message that's coming up for you is Sonia. I bring you a message from your deceased loved one. I am happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. So one of the things that's coming up is, first of all, know that any deceased loved ones who have crossed over are safe, they're happy, they're healthy, and they're with you, helping and supporting you in this situation, whatever this may be. There's a lot of love, there's a lot of compassion, and also it feels like there's whatever the situation may be for you, that there's a lot of work that's happening on the other side to help smooth things forward. It's also popping in that people who have chosen this card are receiving a lot of guidance with this situation in particular from deceased loved ones who have crossed over. This could be family members, these could be friends, these could be people that you just you know, randomly had a connection with, and after their passing connected with them even more, even deeply. This is particularly true for people who are very mediumship based, but the message that's coming up is that any thoughts, any ideas or information that you may have about this situation where somebody who has crossed over is giving that to you is accurate. That kind of came out in a funny way, so let me see if I can explain that in a different way. So say, for example, you're having a difficult time within your romantic relationship, and your mother is somebody who has crossed over, who you would have gone to talk to about this, and one day you're thinking about this situation and you're feeling really frustrated and down, and all of a sudden it pops into your head, well, you know, if my mom were here, she would say this. Know that that is your mother coming through, helping you and guiding you with this situation, and that the advice that's coming through reflects that. The flip side of that is, if you would not have spoken to your mother about your relationship, then the message and the advice that's come through, know that it carries the ego that would have been here when she was here as well. So if you wouldn't have talked to your mother about your sex life when she was here, don't talk to her about it like now that she's gone. All right, so for the people who chose Selenite, The message that's coming up for you, this is Grace and Antoinette, to help heal the situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. So what's really coming forward with this card here is that it's really important that you're seeing all sides with a feeling of compassion, that even if you are experiencing hurt or difficulty in this situation, it's really important to put yourself in the other person's shoes, and to also conversely ask that they put themselves in your shoes as well, because it feels like a big foundation of this situation that's happening is a lack of communication or difficulty in communication and seeing outside of what's happening in your own world, and that's happening with several different people within the situation. Now, if you feel like you're in a position where you've been nothing but compassionate and you've been waiting and you've been holding on to things, then the message that's coming up for you is that it's important that you're putting up boundary with this, and that you're taking the time out to take care of yourself, because in being overly compassionate and not seeing to your own needs and constantly taking care of the needs of the other person or people within the situation, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to them as well. So making sure that you are compassionate to a point that is healthy, and then that you establish healthy boundaries for yourself. There's also a feeling of giving time and space. So now is not the time to be pushing or forcing anything within this situation. Breathe as much as you can, do as much as you can to take care of yourself and support yourself, as well as supporting the other people involved. All right, for the people who chose Malachite, Chantel is coming up, and she is the romance angel. She says, new romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. So, first of all, if the situation involves romance, know that there are positive new things that are happening within your romantic life, within your love life. Things are becoming new again. There's either a new partner coming in, there are changes within an existing relationship so that it feels new and fresh, and you have a new understanding that you are coming to with each other, and that things are getting better. If this is a situation that has nothing to do with romance, know that there are new opportunities, there's new passion, there's new love that is coming to within the situation. There's greater understanding, there's greater level of commitment, and things are really kind of coming together very, very well. One of the things with malachite, and I love this stone in particular, I don't imagine that you can see it, but there's actually a little heart in the malachite. Malachite is all about heart and healing heart, and so knowing that you are moving past and beyond any difficulties that you may have experienced within this situation, particularly if you are surrounding them with love. So if you find that you're in a situation where you're kind of butting your head up against something and it's not coming together, it's not working, fall back into a place of love and compassion, and know that there is a lot of emotional healing that's coming to the situation, and that as that healing happens, everything really starts to open up. It becomes new again, it becomes fresh, and there's a reignited sense of passion and purpose. So it is coming together, and please don't worry about how that's going to happen. All right, let's bring the last row of crystals in. So for the people who chose Apatite, whoops. The message that's coming up for you is Archangel Gabrielle, and she says you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. So first of all, if you've been looking at doing more writing, or have been looking at a career in creative arts or something along those lines, or have been feeling the need to be picking up like pen and paper or drawing or expressing yourself in some way, the message that's coming through is yes, this is absolutely now the time to be doing that, and please take charge with that and do that and push forward. The other aspect that's coming up, Archangel Gabrielle is one of the angels of communication, and so if there is any difficulty within this situation with being able to effectively express yourself, or to express yourself and be heard, or where any issues in communication are coming up, know that Archangel Gabrielle is helping you within this situation, and that as you work towards effective communication, so that means not only being clear in what it is that you want and need in the situation, but also being open to hearing what is happening on the other side as well, that things start to really come together and come into place. So it's really time for heart-to-heart conversations, communications, being really open open, and also not allowing your insecurities in what may or may not happen if you speak your truth. So if you say what it is that you feel that you need to say, that there's security and stability in doing that, and knowing that as soon as you are open within the situation, things in general start to open up. So please don't allow yourself to hold back. And if you're having any difficulty with that, call on Archangel Gabrielle and ask her for help in being able to effectively communicate within the situation. All right, for the people who chose lava, Vanessa's coming up, and she says, to make your decision, ask yourself which way brings me closer to my divine person and which takes me away from it. So with this message, what they're really saying is, within this situation, you really need to look at what your overall life purpose is, where you want to be directing your energies, what you want to be doing, how you want to be focusing yourself. And if this situation isn't allowing you to do that, or is in some way squashing you, then it's time to be seriously looking at making changes. Now, if this situation is one that is supporting you in your life purpose, in your life mission, and what it is that you're wanting to be doing, then you need to start putting all of your energy into this situation so that you can bring that about. But basically what they're saying here with this message is that it's time for transformation. And it's interesting because lava is a stone that is all about transformation. It's about complete change. There is a bit of a sense of destruction that comes with lava. It kind of comes through and it moves through very, very quickly, and there's change that's very rapid. So know that once you start on this path, once you start making those decisions to say, I'm prioritizing my life purpose, what's important to me, that changes will come very, very quickly. So do whatever you can to remain stable and grounded within yourself, but that this situation is really calling you to be aware of your life purpose and what it is that you're wanting and needing right now. All right, and for the people who chose Jet, the message that's coming up for you is Adriana, and she says, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I am communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. So the message that's coming up here is that it's really important to be paying attention to the subtle things in order to find guidance and direction. It feels like there are a lot of synchronistic things that are happening for you right now, but that it's really important that you're paying attention when those things come up and taking action on them as well. But to know that if you are in a time where you're experiencing difficulty or trouble, to know that things are going to be uplifted, and that it's really important that you make adjustments. It feels like these are kind of more minor adjustments as opposed to the big overall adjustments that we were seeing with lava. So these are little tweaks, just little things that are kind of happening. It's just a little shift here, a little shift there, and then boom, 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 everything starts to fall into place. But really and truly pay attention to your intuition within this situation and take action accordingly. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. This was the Choose Your Own Crystal Adventure reading for the month of March 2014, and I hope you have a fabulous March.